This is Drink This, your online radio show for entertainment news and music every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
That's right, so make sure you guys check us out on the YouTube and the SoundCloud to listen to every episode. YouTube.com/DrinkThisRadio and SoundCloud.com/DrinkThisRadio.
That's right, we got a good show for y'all. We're going to get into Eric Garner and the decision in New York.
The protests and the riots.
Yeah.
And of course, the Mike Brown decision as well. And our celebrities that are, multi-millionaires and that are very powerful, influential in the world, being silent on this movement that's currently happening in our time.
All right, all that and more.
Now get ready to drink this. Okay, world, I'm back.
Yes, Dimp.
How you doing? From my little break, and I want to thank Mr. Damo. No, you call him Damo. He said his name is Domo.
Right? No, whatever it is.
Thank him for filling in for my previous weeks. I listened to the show, and I liked what I heard.
I mean, of course, the star was still here. The Santana.
Speaking of star, because all I did was facepalm when you, quote unquote, think you're being. You didn't even get him Kelly Rowland. You went straight to Michelle.
Well, because you still Kelly. Because
no.
We know you were still.
No.
You went off and had your baby. You went off and tried to give people motivation. And I was still here running the world, running the radio, taking over the airwaves.
Ciao.
So I left Kelly for you. You lucky I didn't leave you with Michelle.
Come on, Farrah. Keep
you know what, Ashley?
Lativia, Nina,
Nikki. You're Nina and Nikki, okay? You didn't even make it to DC.
Girl, bye. So, first on our list is
Eric Garner and the situation in New York.
Yes. So that indictment was issued last, was it Wednesday or Thursday?
Well, the decision, it was no indictment.
Right, the decision to not press charges and stuff like that happened last week, and it sent the world, America, into an uproar. Even Korea responded.
Who?
Or North Korea.
Oh yeah, because they knew it was in. It's just a sad situation because here you have all this evidence on camera. You have someone using an illegal move that's been banned since before we were born, and there was nothing done. Nothing done at all.
No justice.
No justice.
I read that part of the reason why that officer didn't get, indicted because they said that Eric Garner's health contributed to his passing.
No.
And they said he was suffering from obesity, his bronchitis, and other things.
This man been fat. This man been had bronchitis, and what was he doing? Walking around the earth, living. And the coroner released the report when they, examined his body. That move and them, kneeling on him while he was on the ground is what contributed to his death.
Exactly.
So it's not like he was just fat and they was like, hey, you stop there, and he just randomly had a heart attack. No, you put him in an illegal chokehold, and not only after you did that, you pinned him on the ground with your heavy ass bodies.
And the jury apparently didn't see it that way. They had their minds elsewhere. So I guess that's what the prosecutors argued, that I'm assuming that they used this chokehold move before no one passed from it. So the jury was probably like, the cause of death was due to him being obese.
It's just so bogus to me, because you just sit here and you're like, okay, you would think that in 2014 that it just wouldn't be this level of injustice that's going on in America. Like, it really feels like we have gone back in time.
I wouldn't say gone back in time. I would just say that not even progressed, because I just think it's been the same, and I think it's just now being brought to the light, is what I think. Like, it's now, like, it's being, people are doing more, like, putting more attention on it, then because it's been happening. I'm sure this Eric Garner isn't the first. Mike Brown wasn't the first. Like I'm
yeah,
sure,
I mean, because we just had Trayvon Martin right before that.
I forgot about Trayvon.
But it's like,
like
thankfully to social media, we can capture these things when they do happen like this, where you do have the evidence. But it's like, but then it's kind of like, it makes some people feel like, why even bother? Because here I am, have the proof from beginning to end. And then like another big question, because everyone's talking about getting these body cameras on police officers, and then some people are like, what's the point? Because even if they do have these cameras on their bodies, y'all still not doing anything about it when there's a camera showing from beginning to end what these people have done.
The actual footage, yep. It's something. Then like at one point I was asking myself, like, what is the purpose, like why, like what's the purpose of protesting? The decisions are made, decision is done, there's nothing you can do about it to change it. Then I thought about Martin Luther King, he protests, and he protested and lots of change happened. So I'm thinking like the same thing could happen with these. My only thing is, so you have a protest is a protest. Now I know what a well-organized protest. There's a big difference between protesting and rioting. So the people in St. Louis, when I was watching the news and seeing the burnt cars, dominoes being set ablaze, businesses being burned down to the ground, that's not a protest. This is why the decision was made how it was made, with Mike Brown and Eric Garner, because they, like, the stuff you guys are doing, you're painting this picture, and that's what the grand jury, that's probably all that they saw. They probably saw people to turn over cars and burn down businesses and steal and rob.
I don't know if that was I don't think that was their reason for what they didn't decide on doing.
Oh no,
I think
I'm saying
that's
like that's how we were being painted as that. So like you protesting and you doing all this crazy stuff, just like being painted as a young black male. We, like, all of us aren't. We don't all go rob the trains and push old ladies down the stairs and steal iPhones and stuff. But the person that's portrayed in the news, that's what they see every black every black young male as, that young thug. Or,
I mean, it's just sad because you just sit here and you're like, now with the Mike Brown case, we all know it was bogus, but I felt like that was gonna happen because it was too many loopholes in the story and there was no proof on either side.
Yep.
So you kind of knew that was kind of up in the air. I mean, I still feel it was a bogus decision, but whatever. But then with this Eric Garner case, you have the video evidence right here, and they didn't even bother to take it to trial. Like, that's what kills me. It's like, you didn't even bother to at least send it to trial. I mean, even if it did go to trial and the policemen were found not guilty, at least we would have known that there was at least the chance that people would have got to present Eric Garner's case in a trial. But you didn't even, like, they didn't care. It frustrates me.
And then you think about the family, there's like they're not even able to fight it. So, but I did read that they're doing other investigating within that case to put some type of charges on that officer.
I mean, they're not going to do that. I mean, they couldn't even indict him for using an illegal move. They're not going to do anything. They're just saying that because they just feel like that's what they should be saying. But we all know that they're not going to go forward with anything. These people has still been working since this man has been dead. This man leaves behind 6 kids and his wife. And what is she doing this holiday? She's burying her husband and living it all over again because injustice was served. Now she got to figure out how she going to feed these 6 kids without the husband.
Yeah, no family.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
And then it's just like a lot of people just feel like that, it's swept under the rug. He got away with murder, pretty much. Then you think about it, if the shoe was on the other foot, if that was a white man and a black officer, what would have happened? That black officer probably would have been locked up, lost his job, fired, not suspended, with pay. You probably would have got fired on the spot. It would have been like a whole different situation, I think, if the race was on the other, And I hate to play the race card, but
it's true. I mean, I mean, no one wants to say that, but it's true. I mean,
so you have somebody accused of selling untaxed cigarettes,
and they didn't even find any cigarettes on him when they quote unquote arrested him, and then they're saying Oh, and I just hate watching the news because then you have like those anchors that be coming out of nowhere and be like, well, because there's always some white guy, and he's like, well, he was resisting arrest. So they pretty much make it seem like, oh, well, he should have died because he was resisting arrest. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, he wasn't even resisting arrest. He was saying, I didn't do anything. Leave me alone. And next thing you know, is some dude come up behind him and is choking him. Mm-hmm. What is he supposed to do? Get choked? Hell no. You like, who the fuck is choking me, and why are you choking me? Like, they didn't read him any Miranda rights. They just choked his ass, put him on the ground, and he just lost his life. Yeah. And nothing is done about it. But I just feel like after all this protesting and everything, what is going to be the next step towards progress?
That's a good question.
Like, who is on this board of jurors, and how do we change what they have done?
This is how you change it. Now, I actually heard this on the radio during this past election. Mm-hmm. So with those elections, that's how you change it. But that's how you're supposed to be changed. That's how it's supposed to be changed. That's where you would go and elect these judges and these other candidates for those purposes. So for the people, and I hate to say it, I know a lot of them are the black people who didn't go out to vote. These are the decisions that are being made by people that you're leaving in the office, that you're not going to cast your ballots for and vote for, and to learn more about the system, so that stuff like that won't happen. Like that's how that changes. Like, you need to know your get into the political, or get into the judicial system, and know who's in office, because this stuff goes to it goes there, and this is who we voted for this past election. Not us, we're not in New York, but that's what happened. That's who they voted for. These are the people that are making those type of decisions. If you don't like it, go out and change it. Go out and do something. Don't go burning up businesses and turning up cars and blowing stuff up. That's not going to change anything. Period.
I mean, that's not like it. Yeah, but it's sad that they did that. But some people are frustrated because you just know how it is, and I can tell, like, because that was in Missouri, and that's a southern state. Mm-hmm. So you can so we think we be getting irritated here in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Imagine living in the South. I mean, because you still have those people, like, because when I went to go visit family in the South a couple years ago, it's still some places that have Confederate flags still hanging up.
Oh, I know. And the KKK is going strong down there.
So, it's like, I can imagine, if I feel like it's bad here with racism, you can only imagine how it still is down south. So I can see why they were rioting, because they're just so pissed off, they mad, but they shouldn't do it. But you understand why. It's just, it's frustrating.
There's plenty of things they can do, like go out and vote. Did they vote down there in Missouri, in St. Louis? I can't say they did it or not, but you can't go like these people you're burning cars and destroying businesses had nothing to do with whatever it is that's going on. Now their families out of whatever. Did you think about are you thinking about their family, their children? And the other thing I hate about all this is the fact that like everything that's happening is kind of putting every cop, giving them a bad, painting a picture for every cop. I have family members that are, I have a cousin that's a Cook County sheriff. I have another cousin that works for her police department in Maywood, and it's like all cops aren't, like that. So like it's like every time you see a cop, it's this picture is painted with them that they're gonna shoot, they're gonna kill, they're gonna do whatever on every cop. Then I saw a picture posted on the Deputy of Ohio's the police department's Facebook page. They show pictures of actual weapons disguised as like super soakers. Like they had a double barrel pump shotgun looking straight up like a super soaker water gun, but it was an actual shotgun. And they said that these are the reasons why police are trained to do what they have to do. Like the gentleman who got shot in Walmart for carrying around a toy gun or whatever. They in their eyes, the police had it right because they have weapons that look like that are actual weapons, so they don't know if it's a,
I get that, but the thing is, like, okay, let's just say I haven't heard about the Walmart story, but I'm just using this as an example. So let's say he walking around with this in his hand, and then police get in there. Okay, so normally how the police is supposed to go freeze, police.
Not with the weapon.
And then yes they do, and then you say, put your gun down slowly, and then put your hands up and do it slowly. That's the whole routine. Everybody know that. You know that. Everybody knows that. That's the routine that police are supposed to do. But what they are doing these days is they carrying their ass right there and they start shooting. They're not saying anything. They just start shooting.
They shoot if their lives are threatened or someone else's lives is threatened.
I mean, I get that. Shoot. That's when they're supposed to shoot. But what they're doing is just shooting off back anyway. I mean, because the routine is supposed to be, you're always supposed to present yourself as an officer. Mm-hmm. So you're always supposed to say, police, freeze, or freeze, police. Whatever the fuck you want to say first, that's what you're supposed to say. And then you tell them, all right. And you instruct them to put the gun down slowly. Kick it over here. Or whatever they say. And then they say, put your hands up behind your back slowly. Because they tell them to always move slowly. Even when you get pulled over by the cops, even when you taking out your damn license and registration, they tell you to move that and, pull it out slowly. Because if you moving off fast, they gonna get all scared and they gonna shoot your ass.
See, all that sounds like movie stuff. So I've never.
But it's not movie stuff. This is real life stuff. Because I was in the car with somebody when they got pulled over and they made them pull out their license registration slow. To most of them, no, you need to move slow.
I never was act slow.
And I'm sitting there like, what?
I've been pulled over a few times and that never happened to me, so I can't speak.
I'm just saying, like, that's what they're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to instruct them to put down the weapon. After he don't put down his weapon and he turning around like he gonna shoot you, then yeah, that's when you got the full order to go ahead and shoot. But they're not doing that. They're not acting like police. They're acting like they're above the law, which they act like.
Now, my only thing with that is, it's like we only know what we're told. So
we only know what we're told, right. And what we have witnessed ourselves.
Well, like you never witnessed stuff.
I've witnessed stuff.
You've had a gun pulled on you by a police officer, or you?
I haven't had a gun pulled on me, but what I'm saying is, I've noticed stuff just from stuff happening to me personally myself, and then I know from stuff you hear from other people that you personally know, and then TV.
See, and that's all what people give you. So like, I can't say that. So I never, God forbid, I mean, knock on wood, you ain't got no wood. So I don't want to be in that situation to where an officer does have to draw their gun on me for God knows what, any reason, whatever they're doing. But at the same time, like, I'm looking at it, if a police is pulling the trigger, like, I just can't see an officer killing somebody in cold blood. That's just me personally. I can't see it.
Look at Mike Brown, shot 6 times.
But like you said, there's so many loopholes in that.
It's loopholes in that. But this is a grown man and a young teenage boy, and it took 6 bullets to put this boy down. No, I mean, just come on. The thing is, it's racist people out here on both sides. It don't matter what side.
That cop himself was. I think he was racist.
But what I'm saying is, it's racist people out here. I myself have been a victim of police being racist. They took my ass to the station.
Really?
Yes. Twice.
What happened? Well, you ain't got no if you want to get into that.
We ain't getting that, but I'm just saying is, I've had it done to myself twice. And my ass is not doing anything. So that's why I'm like, it's just ridiculous that people hate other people just for no reason, just cause. And then they're in these authoritative roles, and they abuse that. And then it does make you, because when you grow up, what your mom tell you about the police? And you know what I'm saying? Like, you just have these talks because it's not like you want to have these talks, but you have to because you need to know how some people in the world perceive you just because. Like, I had to learn that young. Like, my mom told me, about the police and, like, make sure you listen, make sure you do this, blah, 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 because it's just some people that's just going to be out there to do stuff to you just because. You're a young black man.
I never had that talk.
Oh. Well, maybe you should. But I'm just saying, like, it's just sad that you just have to live like that. You can't just grow up and then just go through life and experience stuff. You have to be told that these people hate you for these reasons, or this is how you should act because they gonna be trying to be out to get you or something like that. Like, it's just ridiculous that, like you said, people think of you a certain way just because, and there's nothing you can do about it.
This is true.
I don't know. It's just sucks.
It doesn't happen. Like, I can't put myself in those shoes because I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it happens to, I can't say who it happens to because it happens to anybody.
Yeah, it's just at random. I mean, it might not happen to you yet.
It might say yet now. Shit,
but I'm saying it might happen to you in 10 years from now. It might happen to you 2 months from now. Like, you just never know what's gonna happen.
Like the last time I got pulled over, and the officer was really, maybe because he wasn't white, he was a Latino officer, but he was really nice. Pulled me over for a missing headlight, and he had nothing bad to say. I showed him my license, showed my registration, driver's license, all that good stuff, and it was just like, Yeah,
I mean, it's not just like the white cops. I mean, you got black cops that be doing bogus stuff too to other black people, but it's just about people being in an authoritative role, abusing it. But in these situations, I feel like it was racially motivated.
I would agree. Both of them were racially motivated. Definitely the Eric Garner one.
Yeah.
Because that was just as clear as day. Then did you read that the person who recorded the video got sent, he's going to go on trial? Like he got indicted for, is it indicted?
Yeah.
He got indicted for, for he was on, I guess, a probation or something like that. And he got indicted for, I forget exactly what, but yeah, he's going to go to trial for his doings and his recording of the videos.
See how stupid that is?
A lot of people found that's,
you see how America works?
Ridiculous. Like black man is dead from clear video evidence of a chokehold.
Yet the man who recorded this evidence is going to trial.
Exactly. He's going to trial.
So
petty. They petty.
Anyway, let's just move on. I think the situation is sad. A lot of protests have still been going on to this day. It was just a protest here over the weekend. So hopefully a solution can come from all of this.
Now, I have a question for you. So, because I saw this post on a meme on Facebook. So, how do you feel about people here in Chicago protesting what happened, but no one does anything when between 10 and 20 people are killed every weekend in the summertime in Chicago?
And you see, I hate when people bring up other situations when you're trying to talk about one, because it's just like the same. That's like somebody saying, "Well, how come such and such got this?" And it's just like, no, stop worrying about what such and such got over here. You need to worry about what you got going on. Because I feel like with this situation, like, yeah, it's crime here in Chicago, and it's gotten pretty bad over the last year and a half or whatever. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about a plain incident of injustice, like where this man we see him die on camera, and nothing was done about it. Like, we're not talking. We know it's crime here in Chicago. It's crime everywhere, but it's like people protest here in Chicago about that too. We have those gun rallies where they're like, come turn in your guns, get them off the street. It's things still being done to stop the crime here in Chicago. So I hate when people try and bring up, oh, now y'all want to march. It's like, no, people have been marching for the violence that's been going on here too. People have been doing things, but it's the people that's like that's negative, like, well, why? You whine about everything that everybody else doing, and your ass is still sitting here saying why, and you ain't did nothing yourself. So it's just like, I don't like when people try and do that, because it's always stuff being done about a situation going on. That's how I feel. How do you feel?
With that, I think that like, this is another race card being played. So I think whoever made that photo is, I think they're probably protesting against the black on black crimes. Like, blacks killing blacks are okay. It's fine it's fine in America's eyes or Chicago's eyes. But then it's not okay for a white person to kill, an unarmed black man. That's what I think they was coming from with that. Me personally, like, if you're gonna protest, whether it's for Chicago, whether it's for America, whatever happened in another city or another state, do you? I don't have a say in what you should be protesting for, what you shouldn't be protesting for. You're out there for a reason. If you're protesting, you're protesting. If you're not protesting, then so be it. You're not protesting. But I just think that picture stemmed from like a race card. Like, whoever did that, they're like, okay, how come, there's not, more of this in Chicago? How come we're not out blocking expressways or standing strong with, a 8-year-old kid that's shot dead, unarmed by another black person, or whatever the case would be. Like, they were thinking that it's okay for blacks to kill blacks, but it's not okay for a white man to kill a black person.
Yeah, and it's just irritating, because, and then you think, like, white people kill white people
all the time.
Black people kill black people, Latinos kill Latinos, and then it's a mix. You know what I'm saying? So I hate when people say, black people kill black people all the time. No one say anything. Okay, well, white people kill white people too. And, you know, and then they kill other people. And black people kill, like, I hate when people do that. Because it's just like, it's idiots out there that kill other people. So it's just like, stop trying to make it, well, y'all need to worry about black people killing black people first. Like, no. Injustice is injustice. We have this man clear on camera killing this man. Like, that's what we see. When these incidents happen in Chicago, it's gangbangers. You don't know who did it. Sometimes you do. But what I'm saying is, we have a clear injustice caught from beginning to end, and nothing was done about it. But you want to come and tell me that we should be worried about something else. No, we should be worried about what we see, what's been talked about since the summertime. That this man being killed on camera.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Touchy situation.
Yeah.
People. So it's people like that's why I'm not knocking anybody's judgment, anybody's protest. If you want to protest, I'm not gonna go out there and protest. It's too cold for that. But but I will say that people, like everybody has an opinion. I'm sure you've seen on your Facebook and Twitter that there are so many posts and so many people have so much stuff to say.
Yeah.
But if you have something to say about the situation, you should be living. You should be living what you preach, in my eyes. So if you're on Facebook, ranting or doing whatever, like you said, are you out there protesting? But why are you sitting here on Facebook and posting this? Are you out there making a difference? Are you out there turning in your guns? Or are you out there? Are you raising your damn kids right so they can turn in their guns so they don't have to do stuff like that? So it's just like people that I feel like the people are feeding into the situation, but they're not doing anything to help change it or to help make it better.
Yeah, like you have like both people. Like, have people that will complain about everything, about either side, but you just sitting there complaining, but you're not even trying to make. Like, what are you doing? You just complaining. Like, stop. Like the people you said that they were like, why? Black lives. Y'all killing each other. Like, why? Why are you saying that? Why don't you go do something? So
right.
If you mad about black people killing black people, then how about you start a little campaign to protest violence going on? Like, I'm just saying, you can just do, instead of you over here talking about some why don't you do something? So, yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Well, let's move on. So, not only do your everyday people have opinions, we also have celebrities that have opinions too.
Yes, indeed. Or some that don't have opinions.
Right. So, why don't you go ahead and read that question that we got, or quote rather.
Okay. So, the question is, what are your thoughts on silent celebrities when it comes to social movements? So you have, and when they say silent celebrities, we're not talking about the B-list. We're not talking about the Ray J's and the Tierra Maries and the Sierras out there.
Oh,
just playing. But no, we're talking about, like the people who have a big influence on the black culture. So like, Diddy.
Well, I don't even think it's just the black culture. I think just culture
in general. Yeah, in general. So you have these huge celebrities like the Beyoncés, the Jays, whoever else. But when things like this happen, they are nowhere to be found. They have no comment, or they're not being a part of the movement. So people want to know, what's your take on the silent celebrities. Now, personally, like I asked myself, because me, I'm not one way or the other. I'm not out there protesting. I never made a post about the Mike Brown or the Eric Garner decision. So I'm like, is a celebrity obligated to do so? But the person who's asking this question feels that a powerful celebrity can help push it forward. How? I don't know.
I think so. Because I think what they're trying to say is, like, I'm going to take Michael Jackson, for instance. Michael Jackson, healed the world. Like, he had messages in his music, and then not only did he just have a message, but he started movements. So, he got things, they didn't get perfect, but they got better. He's out here trying to make a change and making a difference. and he was the biggest celebrity, you know, I would say probably of all time. So I see what that person is saying, where people can use the power that they do have to make a message. Now, I know some people like slam. I know you're telling me he like slam Beyonce, talking about some, you know, she didn't say anything, but she actually did.
Right, on her Instagram.
On her Instagram, for the Mike Brown situation, she uploaded the quote from the Mike Brown family. So I feel like that's her, you know, sending out that she feels it wasn't an injustice. She knows that. Now, she didn't say anything about the Eric Garner case.
No.
But she did say something about the Mike Brown case, which I feel like that's more... I mean, there's something.
Right.
She, you know, and then you had Macklemore go to Ferguson and he was protesting. But then when he did that, you had people giving him flack for doing it. And I'm just like, well, what do you want?
Right,
like,
exactly.
You have a celebrity here that's huge, and here he goes trying to, you know, do something great, you know, and protest and, you know, try and help the cause. And then people go and slam him for it. And it's just like, well, what do you want him to do?
It's like a lose-lose type.
So you want him to be quiet, but then you can be like, oh, Macklemore, you just trying to rap, and then now you ain't saying anything.
Right.
So I just feel like you always had those people that's why, and it's just like you're not even
doing anything.
You're not happy either way.
Yep.
You're not happy either way of what's going on.
And and I just feel that, like, me personally, like I just feel like they're not obligated to do so. Like, it's their choice. So if they do, if it's great. If they do, if they don't, you know, it's their decision. Like, it's their decision to not get, you know, they may not want to get involved. But like you said, like Beyonce did posted that photo, and that was her way. You know, it shows that she's at least been following the case, that she knows something
right,
about
she was
it that's
conscious
going
about
on.
what was going on.
Exactly.
I mean, granted, I feel like some people don't know what's going on. I mean, because I had a friend who didn't even know about the Eric Garner situation until it was like on the news and her family was watching it, and she was just now finding out about it.
Yeah, because everybody's not on.
I mean, not everybody.
Media.
Yeah, everybody's not on social media, or people don't watch TV, or people don't watch the news, or they don't read the newspaper. I mean, whatever the case, not everybody knows about everything. So I can imagine if an everyday person didn't know about it, if someone who's flying all over the world, doing all this stuff, they probably might not know about it either. But I feel like as someone who's huge, like Beyonce or Jay-Z or Lady Gaga or whoever, like, you kind of, I mean, it's just like you don't want them to be a role model, but they kind of are. It's like you kind of are anyway. So I kind of see what somebody's saying, where you kind of expect them to at least say something, which I don't think that they should probably give their full opinion about something, you know, sometimes, because, you know, whatever. But speaking out on it, I feel like it's something. So I feel like with but
like, would they penalize? Are they going to penalize? Like, this particular artist was just calling out Beyonce. So Beyonce isn't the biggest celebrity out there. We all know that there are bigger celebrities. Are they going to penalize others? You know, are they going to call out other people?
I mean, I don't think so. I think they're trying to call her out because she is one of the. When you think of black celebrities that's like on a mainstream type of level, you think of Beyonce, you think of Rihanna, and now Rihanna's been vocal about everything.
She's too damn vocal.
She was vocal about Mike Brown, Eric Garner. She's been vocal about everything like that. So I just feel like you look at those two people first, because those are the mainstream black celebrities that you know. So I feel like they expect something from them every time something happens to the black community, and they look for them.
And my thing is, what do they expect? Like, this one said that, you know, or like they probably expecting, like you said, like how Michael Jackson did "We Are the World." Reading that makes me think like they were probably expecting her to put out a song that, you know, heals or that brings people together, or, you know. Because
I think they're talking about like her music, like, you know,
because
he was saying like, you know, you're here twerking and all this other madness or whatever, but, you know, where's your message? But I mean, that's just not who Beyonce is. I mean, Beyonce's not a message type of girl. She never has been. So I don't think that you should think that she's going to come out here and she's going to be talking about some
We Are the World,
Rhythm Nation type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not the type of artist that Beyonce has ever been. She's never been that type of person. So I don't think she's going to come out and just have some type of music to have that message. But I feel like I know Solange, after the Mike Brown decision, she said that she was gonna make an album about, you know, racial and you know, all this stuff. So you expect something like that from Solange. I mean, of course, she's not mainstream, but it's something. So I feel like, I know Questlove too, he issued out like a challenge for artists to have more social conscious music and, you know, messages in their music.
But it's
which is great and all, but everyone's not going to do that.
I was just going to say that. Like that I feel like that time has came and gone. Like some music, I'm not to say all of it has came and gone, because some music still have deep messages behind it. But I think that's that older music mentality, that when music actually had, you know, something behind it. Like 7-Eleven, I don't know what the hell the song's about. Probably doesn't have to be. It's just her spinning with her hands up. Yeah. You know. But, you know, I do think there's other songs that are out there today that has meaning behind it.
I mean, like Kendrick Lamar released that song I that has, you know, that message behind it. But it's a lot of people who still make music with messages, but ain't nobody listening to it.
This is true.
And
that's just the world we live in today.
Yeah, so I mean, I see what they're saying where they want someone bigger to like do something. Well, you can't just make them do something. I feel like her speaking out is a step. Like, but you can't go expecting her to have some whole type of
protest
kumbaya song coming out. You know what I'm saying? So that's just not her. So I don't know. I mean, you're gonna have some celebrities that's gonna come out and they're gonna protest. They're gonna probably have a song out.
And that has like when Trayvon, when it happened with Trayvon, a lot of them released like mixtape music, you know, tracks about Trayvon. I think a few of them did something about Mike Brown. Yeah. When that happened with him. So like people do it, but I guess if it, you know, it like, and I don't know, like my other thing is like if Beyonce were to do something like that, you know, it would happen online. You know, like how would that get out to the masses? You know, everyone isn't online. Everyone isn't. She won't release something like that to like a, you know, to an album or something like that. It'd just be, okay, she'll go online, upload. Here's a song. We Are the World. And you're like, okay, what are you gonna do with it? Like how would that make something better?
I mean, I think it'll give people like
hope,
thinking, and then like if she like contributed the funds to something. I mean,
why not have Michelle Obama do something like that? You know, she's the first lady.
You know, this thing I hate about people too, because they don't understand how the government works, or they think that, especially some of the black people, not everybody, but they think that Obama is supposed to just come in and save the day on every situation that goes on. And it's just like, that's just not how the government works. And he can say something, but it's all about, like you said earlier, when you go vote and you put these people in office and you put these people on the jury and all this stuff, that's where it starts. And then like he can only do so much, but if you have people that are in the house that can either vote with him or against him, so he can't do as. I feel like people don't understand the role of the president. Like, I don't think that people really get how it works.
Nope, they think it's a big red button that he can just go press stop.
And he can just swarm in and just change every decision. Like, he can't do that. It don't work like that.
He doesn't have that much power.
So
he's the face of the U.S.
Right.
He doesn't have that much power.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't think people get that. Some people.
Some folks.
Yeah, so it's just sad. But I feel like, I get what they're saying. I think some people should have more socially conscious music, or just a message, or just do something. I mean, because you got all this money, and what are you doing with it at the end of the day?
Now, the question is, the people, if they do this socially, you know, conscious music, will the masses listen to it? Because the masses today, honestly, aren't socially conscious. And that is sad. It's sad. I forgot who I was talking to about this the other day. That like, I forgot who the hell I was talking to, but we was talking about how, like, you know, like the kids nowadays, they don't even have to learn how to spell. They got these phones that do autocorrect. Computers do autocorrect. They probably don't even have spelling tests in school. They don't have to memorize phone numbers. We had to do all that when we was little. Memorize phone numbers. Memorize, you know, every damn thing. So like they have a completely different upbringing with us, and it's like everything is easy for them. Like if they listen to a Kendrick Lamar song, would they get the message? Versus listening to a Nicki Minaj song. She ain't got a message. Her music.
Right.
No shade. But it's like, and it's like it's all about the money. So like people are gonna do what makes their pockets better. Unfortunately.
But I mean, looking at these album sales, none of them are really getting too much money in their pocket anyway.
This is true.
So you might as well do it.
So true.
I mean, but just like you said, it's gonna be some people, some celebrities, they're gonna be like, well, I feel a certain way, but I'm not gonna say anything about it. Mm-hmm. Or I feel a certain type of way, but I'm not gonna make a song about it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, because celebrities are still people at the end of the day. So you're gonna have some people that's gonna be very outspoken, some that's not gonna speak, and then some that's gonna speak a little bit. Mm-hmm. But
and I don't see a problem with that. Like I just don't feel that like they're obligated to say anything. Like didn't it take Barack a while to respond to Trayvon's case?
Well, because they had to because you don't want to speak, especially when you're the president. You don't want to speak too soon before you have all of the information, because you don't want to, make the wrong type of speech and then later on, it backfires. So, I mean, it's always going to take the president just a little bit. I feel like time, but I feel like with celebrities, I feel like you have a platform, and whether you want to speak all the way about it, I feel like you should still say something, because you still have a small audience that wants to feel like you're gonna say something. Like people kind of feel like that celebrity is their voice. So I feel like you should say something. You ain't gotta give your full opinion or something, but you can just say something.
Now this leads me to another question. Is like, with the celebrities, are you getting, like, let's use Nicki Minaj, or use Beyonce for example. Like when she posted that Instagram picture. So are we getting the real Beyonce, or are we getting the Beyonce we know? Because we don't know Beyonce. Let's put it, we don't know none of these celebrities. They're staged, they're this person to us, but we don't know, like you said, how they feel. Everybody has an opinion or whatever. So it's like, if they are, like, let's say if they were to release a statement or release this or release that, are we getting the real them? Like, or are they just saying it just because they know they want, someone wants them to say something? So
I feel like it would be the real them, because a lot of people, when you say stuff, especially now these days, you can lose so much. Like Beyonce has a lot of endorsements. So with her speaking out on certain things, depending on what she might say, those endorsements can be gone just like that. So, so you just have to. So I feel like whenever you do speak out on something like that, you don't care. Like, it's the real you, because at the end of the day, you saying whatever you're saying can affect your money. And so I feel like that's a big respect when someone can speak about something and they don't care. They're like, what? You can take those little contracts or whatever. I don't care, because this is something that I need to say, because that's what I feel is right.
And that was the point of that article, like saying that call her a trained puppet or trained monkey, entertainment puppet, and that she would do whatever benefits her to get a check. So it's like, is she not speaking out because it could dampen her pockets, or she could lose these endorsements, or like that. That's what that I took that article reading it for. Like she would do what she needs to do to keep money in her pocket, and if something happens or she speak out or whatever happens, if she go out and protest, it could dampen her pocket or something.
Yeah, I mean, it can go either way, but I feel like Beyonce is so big that even if she did lose her endorsements, she's still gonna be okay, because she already got the money now. So I feel like she was a puppet up until a puppet. Well, I still feel like sometimes she might be a little puppet, but I feel like she now has a little bit more control over what she's doing, that she can speak out and say things that she wants to say, because she's Beyonce now.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I feel.
That's how you feel. Let it out, girl.
And I'm actually on her side this time.
Finally, you want to be her so damn bad.
Oh, please.
Pause it. Well, we've been rambling. Clearly, we're passionate about these topics, and we are well aware of what's been going on.
Yeah.
In the U.S. Regarding these situations, and it hits home to a certain point. It make, like you said, it makes people upset. It brings out the worst in some people, but all we can do is press on, move forward, and hope for change.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So hopefully this doesn't happen again. That's just what I hope for. I hope it doesn't happen again. I hope we don't keep losing these young teenage boys, to policemen or just anybody. I just hope it just stops.
It needs to.
But thank y'all for listening. This is our socially conscious episode.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably the title. Socially conscious.
And so thank y'all for listening, and we will see y'all next week
for our last show
of the year. And then we'll be back to y'all in the new year
with some fresh stuff.
Yes. Drink this.
We out.